Jheric de Los Angeles is Head of Marketing at Bukas. Hello Jheric, welcome sa Startup Podcast. We're very happy to have you and Bukas dito sa podcast.
Hi Johnny, and hello sa mga listeners natin sa podcast na to. Nice to be here.
Yes, actually, this podcast, medyo marami ang nakikinig ng mga students. And sakto, Bukas is actually an education financing startup providing affordable tuition payment plans for Filipinos. So I think very, very sakto itong episode na ito. Pero I'll have you answer that question, Jheric. So ano nga ba ang Bukas?
Yes, so actually nasabi mo na siya, pero to formally introduce Bukas. So Bukas actually sa Filipino word, no? It means two things, open or tomorrow, di ba? And I think the core of what we do, that's what we're focusing on. We open opportunities for students to get education through our affordable tuition installment plans. And it's also for their tomorrow, for their future, no? For them to have a better tomorrow. So basically, yun kami. Bukas.
Yeah, actually, ang ganda nun actually. Di ko agad naisip na Bukas parang means two things. Ang automatic na pupunta sa utak ko is tomorrow pero it's actually like opening the tomorrow for the Filipinos. And you do this through a tuition installment plan. So, can you explain paano na open ang tomorrow with this education financing loans? Maybe we can start with education and then yung loans. Bakit mahalaga ang loans, for example? So, can you give more light to that?
Yes. So, sa Bukas, yung problem na sinasolve namin as a company is paano ba makapag-enroll yung mga estudyante? So, there might be in universities or colleges that we're partnered with, or let's say, mga what you call non-formal institutions or non-formal educational institutions, which I can talk more about later. And ang usual problem ng mga estudyante, and na-experience ko to nung college pa ako, is paano ko mababayaran yung tuition ko, di ba? And paying for your tuition is one of the biggest challenges, I would say, by Filipinos, di ba? But not just the students themselves, but also their families. And at Bukas, we offer them alternative ways to pay for their tuition. So instead of, let's say, paying na straight out, let's say 50,000 for your tuition fee, what you can do is apply through Bukas if you're a partner institution from a student from a partner institution. And then we will evaluate your application. And then kami na yung bahala magpadala ng tuition fee mo dun sa school para makapag-enroll ka. And then yung monthly, student yung magbabayad sa amin. Ang reason nun syempre is mas napapagaan yung pagbabayad ng tuition kaysa isang bagsakan. At the same time, mas namamanage yung cash flow ng mga pamilya.
Yes.
No? So basically, yun yung ino-offer namin.
Yes, actually, first of all, sa Pilipinas, napakahalaga ng education. I mean, education could be said like maybe an equalizer sa ating society na if you get educated and if you get a diploma or a degree, even like high school or even college, it can open up more opportunities for you. And totoo na hindi biro ang tuition fee sa mga eskwelahan natin ngayon. Nakakabigla ka magbabayad ka bigla ng isang buong tuition like for a semester or for a year. So mas hindi lang naman siya sa education nag-a-apply parang it's a general principle na kaysa isang bagsakan babayaran siya like hulugan kumbaga. Pero maybe nga may nakikinig nito ng mga students or maybe Filipino parents na baka gustong magpaaral ng anak through Bukas. So how does this work for them? Do they simply go to the website? You've said some of the things like they pay actually to Bukas, not to the school. So paano nangyayari yung application process? Meron bang requirements? And can you give some details maybe on the rates on like the installment plans maybe?
For sure. Yeah, sa Bukas we're very transparent. No? Actually, everything will be can be read through our website. No, so for parents or students, you can just visit bukas.ph. So first of all, you can apply for a Bukas tuition installment plan if you're from a partner school. So that's one of the things that we make sure that we partner with the educational institutions who are also aligned with our values and who can also basically provide the service to them. So if your school is part of our partner institutions and we continue to grow those partnerships, you can apply na through our website. So you can create an account and submit the different requirements. No, so can be proof of income, proof of residency, And syempre yung proof na enrolled ka dun sa school na yun. And it's not just it's not just the students who can apply. The parents, no, or the guardians can also apply. And with this, no, we're allowing the family, no, to be able to access our product easily. And in terms of rates, syempre, just like any other financial technology product, we do have an interest rate and an origination fee. So interest rate, it may vary per school, but the standard is around 1.9% per month. And then we have an origination fee. So kumbaga yung origination fee, yung service fee, no, for us to be able to sustain our business, is at 4.5%. And for example, no, so para mas specific tayo. So kunwari yung student, manghiram siya ng 30,000 pesos. So that's what you call the principal amount. Kailangan niya magbayad ng 3,182 pesos per month kaysa isang bagsakan na 30,000. So yung 3,182 na yun already includes the origination fee that I mentioned, divided by 12 months plus the monthly interest, no? So amounting to around 570 pesos. So kumbaga kung isipin mo, kaysa bayaran niya yung 30,000 ng isang bagsak, pwede niyang bayaran niya on a monthly basis. At mas na-manage niya yung cash flow, let's say, ng family. Yes. So yun yung technically mechanics on how to apply for a business plan.
Yeah, we've heard some of the mathematics, ano. So yung 30,000 ay pwedeng maging 3,182 per month. And actually, mas magaan nga yun, ano, kasi hindi naman ang sweldo, hindi naman isang bagsakan eh. Ang sweldo usually ng mga Pilipino ay per month or maybe twice per month. Ano. So dapat maganda rin na kung ginagawang hulugan yung mga dapat nating bayaran. Just to be clear, ano, like for a student, is this like per semester or per year or pwede bang buong stay niya sa eskwelahan? So paano ba nag-work ito? And for example, I will enter a college. Before I start back and I apply already for a Bukas loan and for like the whole 4 years, I will avail of the education loans of Bukas.
Yeah. So Bukas can provide your support for your whole college journey. No, so we don't discriminate. Actually, even hanggang postgraduate, diba? And maybe some of our listeners and viewers now are pursuing postgraduate degrees. So as long as it's from a partner school, you can apply through us. And we have a lot of students na hindi lang sila kumuha for one sem because they've seen the benefits of it. They've applied like twice or thrice, no, to cover for their tuition fees, not just for one semester, but even more than that.
Yeah, and here's actually another question. Because like sa Pilipinas, even before maybe, I mean, like when I was studying, actually, I also took part of like this educational loans. Pero one of the things that I saw in the website of Bukas is first you make kumbaga yung process simplified and also yung installment plans simplified and transparent. So can you share lang maybe like what really differs Bukas maybe to like other educational loans like even yung before yung mga educational plans they call it so what really sets kumbaga yung product ni Bukas apart and can you share like how technology plays into this, how yung mga modern na kumbaga advocacies and principles natin play into this, so can you basically tell how you are different?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. No? I think the first one is we're really focused on education funding. So what we mean by that, no? So we're partners with the schools. So that means we're legit. We're SEC registered. So everything that you do and every transaction that you do with us is bound by this, of course, rules and regulations. So you don't need to worry about yung mga usual fly-by-night options, no? In terms of getting these kinds of options. I think second also is if you compare it to other options in the market, we're offering a more affordable rate. Of course, you have credit cards, and also you have what you call like alternatives in terms of like getting cash loans, right? So we are more flexible in terms of that. If I may just share, no, I mentioned kanina yung example of 12 months installment, but actually, students can also opt to like apply for a 3, 6, or 9 months installment. Kasi minsan, di ba, parang gusto mo nang matapos yung binabayaran mo, or you want to get another loan. So there's that flexibility also. And I think the third one, in terms of like process, no, and you mentioned it. It's fairly simple. The requirements are all listed on the website. You just need to, of course, submit complete documents, and then our team, no, will be able to evaluate if you will be able to access, no, this product. And I think lastly, if I can just highlight, we're not just focused on like parang offering yung product na to for the students and then okay na. We make sure also that we provide financial literacy, no? And I think for college students, it's very important. So we provide content also on our social media pages, or even let's say we go to the schools to educate yung mga students on different topics, no? Not just getting student loans, but also different financial literacy topics. Kasi for us, diba, for us to be very responsible citizens and responsible people, we also need to make people understand yung concept of what they're getting into, especially their college students, diba? And tayo, maybe ako personally, I wasn't able to parang get an idea of all these financial concepts nung bata pa ako. And I wish there was someone or some institution that helped me in this. And that's what we're trying to do also.
Yeah, that's very good. Actually, that's what I meant by, kumbaga, ganun kasi nag-evolve yung mga, let's say, yung mga kumpanya at yung mga nag-o-offer ng mga mga educational financing loans na ito. Kasi maybe dati, not to say all naman, pero dati perhaps parang it's more on the business side. Pero with what you're doing, talagang ino-open nyo yung tomorrow. Talagang binubukas nyo yung bukas ng mga Pilipino, ng mga estudyante. And
Yes.
I think ganun din nag-evolve. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure actually when I looked at the website, it's very simple. And kumbaga, kung ako ay isang Pilipinong kailangan ko talaga ng pera, ng loan para makapag-aral, hindi na nabawasan yung obstacles for applying for a financial loan. I think that's also like what you do, you make the process simplified. And aside from that, you offer like flexible offers, flexible plans, and even yung transparency. I think that's one of the most important. And affordable, and isa pang importante, legitimacy. Kasi totoo na medyo in the past merong mga hindi ganun ka-legitimate. Let's just say it like that. But meron bang mga examples, or meron bang, for example, I'm a student and hindi ko kaya magbayad ng loan. So may mga ganun bang cases? How do you deal with that?
Yeah. So that's very that's very valid. I mean, just like anything, di ba, minsan may mga nangyayari out of the control of the students or the families, so they're not able to pay on time. Of course, we try to be very understanding and also very to be very empathetic also with the student, di ba? Kasi alam naman natin, they're not just concerned about paying for this, but also their studies also, or what's happening in their family. So we try to be very flexible. But of course, just like any other business, there's financial obligations involved. That's why, if I may go back, yun nga yung sinasabi natin na financial literacy. So we also don't want the students or their families to get into this without knowing the responsibilities, diba? So as much as possible, as early as now, they're in college, they're also learning that taking in financial obligations is also a form of responsibility. But to your question, of course, it happens. And if there are, let's say, considerations that we need to make, of course, we consider that. But again, it's of course a contractual obligation. There are things that we need to follow also, because it's an agreement, diba, between us as the company and also the students or their guardians.
Yes. So actually, win-win pala yung yung financial literacy, kasi you help them, kumbaga, advance their knowledge about dealing with financial things, and also umaangat yung probability that they kumbaga they oblige dun sa kontrata na magbayad kay Bukas. So it's just good also to see that perspective. Bukas has partnered with around 100 schools or educational institutions,
Yes.
Can we know some of these partner schools, and meron ba kayong perspective or thoughts on, like, first, how do you choose these schools, and second, why do they partner with Bukas?
For sure. So that's right. No, we're partners with more than 100 educational institutions in the Philippines. and that has been built throughout the 4 years we've been operating. So our first few partners, no, when we were starting in 2019, this was pre-pandemic, were FEU, Lyceum, Mapua, and JRU. And now we're partners with more schools. So we have the De La Salle University, CSB, no, College of St. Benilde. We're also partners with the FINMA Education Group. So
Yes.
it's a network of schools around the Philippines. We are also partners with the schools in, let's say, in Visayas. So University of Visayas also. And also, aside from that, we are also in partnership with institutions that offer, I would say, alternative learning. So let's say you have CodeGo, where you can learn software development, data analytics, and things like that. We are also partners with Experience Abroad and ITN. So ito naman yung mga nasa hospitality program who wants to do internships abroad, diba? And there's also like programs like Hyper Island, which is a recent partner we have, where you can study like business, but in the new generation, no? So more of like the media advertising route. So the school is in Singapore. So it varies really, no? So from your colleges and universities, and also what you call like alternative learning, which is actually very, I don't know, very in demand these days, di ba? Yung
Yes,
mga
true.
career shifter, o kaya yung mga gusto mag-upskill, di ba? Or they want to learn more and hopefully help in their employability. And you also had a question like, what kind of partners we choose? Actually, syempre, we make sure that they're also like credible and legitimate, diba? Kasi we are for better education also. So we want that yung mga partners namin, they're also providing this quality education. Kasi yun nga yung gusto namin, magkaroon ng access yung mga Filipinos, diba?
Yes.
So it's providing a better tomorrow, which means, of course, quality education. And why they partner with us for a lot of things. So some of our partners would say that we've helped them in their enrollment. So let's say instead of the student, let's say, and not enrolling, but now they have this option, they're
True.
now enrolling, right? It also helps in managing, I would say, the financials of the school. Because again, nga, no, as I mentioned kanina, we disburse the tuition fee directly to the schools. So guaranteed kumbaga yung payment to the school, di ba? And kami na yung magti-take on nung kumbaga absorbing the payments,
Yes.
no? And
Yes.
reminding the payments of the students. So yun. And at the same time, syempre, they get to access also our financial literacy programs. So we go to their schools, have these talks, have this kinds of community building also. So ito yung mga what I call like intangibles, di ba? You don't see the actual like results of it, but it builds onto what we're trying to do and trying to achieve as a company.
Yeah, but that's true, ano. Kumbaga, in the perspective of the school, nare-reduce din yung parang delinquency rate ng mga students dahil sa kadahilanan hindi sila makapagbayad, 'di ba? So, minsan totoo 'yun totoong kwento yung mga 'yun na may mga hindi nakapag-enroll dahil sa pera. So, with that like with partnering with Bukas, natutulungan din ng mga school yung mga students, ano.
Yes.
These are universities and colleges and ito mga alternative learning kumbaga programs na actually totoo, they really are in demand now kasi they really give you the skills na kailangan mo for the modern, let's say, the modern workforce. Pero do you also have like maybe for high school or for grade school, or are you looking into that? Just curious about that.
So actually, we have a partnership with Apex Schools. So Apex Schools actually offered K-12 program. So we're of course considering expanding those kinds of offerings. Again, for us, no, it's enabling Filipinos to get access to education. It just starts with, of course, like colleges and universities and cognitive learning. But as just like any company, right, we explore other alternatives and other ways to expand our market reach.
Yes, but those schools that you mentioned are really nice, ano, and they're actually like the big popular schools sa Pilipinas, SEU,
Mm,
Lyceum. So
mm,
baka
mm.
may nakikinig na to na like administrator ng school, so maybe you're interested to partner
Yeah.
with Bukas. Um, punta tayo sa story ano ni Bukas. So you mentioned kanina na in the 4 years that you've been operating, 2019, nagkaroon ng more than 100 partner schools, and actually more than or around 17,000 Filipino students ang natulungan ni Bukas. Can
Actually,
you know more?
18,000.
Sorry?
18,000.
18,000.
18,000.
So habang habang lumilipas ang panahon, padami na padami ang mga natutulungan. Can we know first like una like maybe some backstories paano ba nabuo
Mm,
yung si Bukas, and then
mm,
maybe can we know more about the team, and what do you think? This is a very good achievement. Like in 4 years, like this amount of schools partnered up with and yung student na natulungan. So can you
mm.
maybe narrate or share lang yung story ni Bukas?
Sure, sure. Siguro I'll narrate it from my perspective, no? So I first discovered Bukas February of 2019. So even before it launched sa Philippines. So
Mm,
how did I discover Bukas? So I read an article that this company, they started in operations in Indonesia. It's called Danachita, which is
mm,
actually part of the Erudify group. So Danachita and
mm,
Bukas are the two, I would say, brands and the two operations of Erudify, which is the mother company of Bukas, that they're opening in the Philippines. And during that time, I was teaching in a college in the Philippines. So I teach advertising and marketing. And
mm.
I realized my students would benefit from this. So I messaged the CEO, Nagatan,
Oh,
on LinkedIn if
wow.
he'd be interested to like talk and maybe partner with the school where I'm teaching in. And that's how I met him and the team. That's also how I met the president of Bukas, JR Emlano. And from then on, no, we kept conversing. I was still in a different company that time. And then come pandemic, it was 2020. I reached out again to check no how was the partnership because I realized my students were parang nagde-drop out na sila kasi nga during the pandemic, 'di ba? Parang hirap kumita, jobs were impacted, and then many things were happening. So I've asked, okay, kamusta yung partnership? And then that's when I joined the company officially. And it felt very personal to me because I really believe in what we're doing as a company, as a teacher, but also as someone who grew up. I would say na wala. I'm a proud product of public school
Mm.
from elementary to graduating college, and I felt like this is something that I can work on, no, to give back to all the opportunities I've had during that time, and that's how it started. So I'll be with the company now for almost 3 years now, and of course, just like any startup, diba, it's a lot of like challenges, a lot of course, I would say day to day operations that we need to work on, but we're keeping true to our mission, and I think that what keeps us going. So that has been the story of Bukas through my lens. And right now, of course, we continue to serve more students and their families and closing more partnerships, no? So we can offer our product to more Filipino students.
Yeah, it's actually amazing na kumbaga nagsimula sa puso, like your kumbaga your want to help your students. Correct me if I'm wrong, back then wala pang Bukas Philippines. They're not yet
Correct.
operating in the Philippines. So you're actually like maybe the reason or one of the reasons kung bakit nagkaroon ng Bukas Philippines. Tama ba yun? May
I wouldn't own to that.
Mm,
Before I came in, they were already planning, no? As
mm,
mentioned, Danachita started first in Indonesia. And then Mr. Nagatan, our CEO, thought, oh, why not with the opportunity that we have in the Philippines? Because the Indonesian and the Philippine market, I would say, would be very different also in terms of like the education sector. For the Philippines, di ba, mas private schools tayo, di ba? Compared to them na mas public schools. So they thought there's an opportunity there. And that time, wala pang, I would say, big or well-known like company that offers this, no, na dedicated to this kind of product. And that's how they got into it. They built the team, JR, our president, being one. And then I think it's just siguro parang luck and also timing na nagmatch, and then I was able to join them at the peak of the pandemic and support them also in their growth. So I won't take credit for the idea.
Yes.
It's actually Nagatan, our CEO, and of course the
Yes.
founding team, our president, JR.
Yeah, but maybe your message no could have been like maybe like a catalyst kung bakit talagang na push pa forward yung but anyway so si Bukas which is part of like the Erodify group, siya yung parang larger umbrella large mother company.
Yes.
Which countries are they operating, or only in Indonesia and the Philippines?
Yeah. So currently we're operating in Indonesia and the Philippines. Yes.
And si Bukas Philippines ay what year nag-start ulit?
2019. Yes.
2019. And now like gaano kalaki ang team ni Bukas Philippines? I mean just to see like yung people behind lang like this achievement.
Correct. So right now in terms of people, no, we're around I think I would have the exact number. I think we're around like 30 to 40 people.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but
the composition of the Philippine team.
yeah, but that's really good I mean, and moving forward, do you know if like meron bang plans si Bukas like to spread even to other countries?
I mean, Bukas is dedicated to the Philippine market, no. So I think
yes,
our
si mother company.
I think it's never not a discussion or never not in the plan. I think right now, no, it's really more about timing and of course managing resources and priorities. But right now, the team is really focused on building and growing the Indonesia and the Philippine market.
Yeah. And going back again to your personal, kumbaga, lens dito. Before you were a teacher, you're an educator, and then you jumped into the startup world being the head of marketing sa Bukas. So was it of course it's in your heart, I'm pretty sure, like this mission it really aligns with what you want to do, with what you want to see in the future. Pero was it difficult like transitioning to the startup life? How about the experience?
Yeah. So Bukas is actually my second startup. So I was in a different startup for Vietnamese mobile gaming company. And before that, I was in different companies, like multinationals, different fields also. But I would say Bukas is different because, again, it's a mission that is very close to my heart. But as you're asking, this is a startup podcast, and maybe our listeners know this. Working in a startup is really a different. It's a different lifestyle, as what people would say. No, it's a lifestyle choice, diba? But it's been a very like a learning opportunity for me. I continue to grow every day in terms of like business, in terms of being a marketer also. But at the same time, I think what inspires me is the hustle of the people around me, the people that I work with. Because you really see like, yes, we're trying to solve this problem, we're in this mission, but also just, I would say, just trying out things, experimentation, and like just being accountable for, let's say, decision making, right? Which I won't see, let's say, in my experiences in multinationals. Here, what you think of, you do it, and then you learn from it, and then you scale it if you feel like it's worth scaling, right? And I think that's why people choose to be in startups, right? So that's also something that I really appreciate. The people, the learning, and also the opportunities to grow also on a personal and on a professional level.
Learn as you grow. Wow. Learn as you go, learn as you grow.
Yes.
Speaking of marketing, since you're the head of marketing sa Bukas, because Bukas, kumbaga yung model ay nagpa-partner up with schools. Pero when you do the marketing, do you market to the schools or do you market to the people? Is this a B2B model or a B2C model in terms of marketing? So how do you touch the people, the Filipino people? Is it through the schools or through the Filipino people themselves mismo?
Mm. I would say that it's both. Of course, there are certain priorities, no, just like any other marketing tactic or marketing strategy. I think the beauty of our business is that we have these partnerships with the schools, diba? So when we do certain campaigns or when we want to when we want the students to get to know us, we are collaborating with the school
To the
administrators,
school.
their marketing team, and their admissions team. So let's say merong enrollment, may enrollment session, or let's say merong welcome assembly. We're able to
Ah,
with the school, so we're able to introduce our products also to the students. I think that depth of relationship is very important, and I would say that that has been our core strength also. That our partners trust us also, so it's a mutual relationship. No, it's not just them doing this for us, but also us providing them with this platform. No, so let's say yung mga financial literacy program, di ba? But on the other side of things, di ba? Syempre, we're targeting this generation of, like, I would say they're Gen Zs because they're still in college. So we also market to them directly in different forums. Of course, you have our TikTok account where you have financial literacy content, then our
wow.
Instagram also. So it's like it's complementary, di ba? Na parang okay, when
Mm.
you see us in the schools, oh, they remember, oh, this is Bukas, sila yung about financial literacy. Ito yung pinost, let's say, ni the influencer that they follow, or we partner with certain organizations also in their events, diba? So it's a mix of both.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's really a good strategy ano, maybe baka nga sa welcome orientation sa mga ganyan na mga schools, na mga universities doon kumbaga puwedeng at least ma-expose sa idea ni
Mm.
Bukas.
Yeah.
Yeah, maraming salamat for sharing, Jheric ano. Our last question lang, maybe i-reiterate lang natin para sa mga nakikinig nito, para i-instill talaga yung message or yung mission ni Bukas.
Mm.
So, ano nga ba talaga ang mission ni Bukas? Gaano kayo kumbaga ka-strong sa advocacy of
Yeah.
opening a better tomorrow for our
Yes.
Filipino people? So, can you leave some words to share kumbaga yung philosophy, yung vision ni Bukas sa ating mga tagapakinig?
Yes. So sa Bukas, we believe in building a better future, no, for the Filipinos, and it starts with education. And with us, through our products, you'll be able to have alternative ways, no, to pay for your tuition fee and get that education, no. And for us Filipinos, as Johnny mentioned kanina, diba, education is the great equalizer. And it's usual, no, na in our family homes, di ba, nandun yung mga picture natin when we graduate with
Yes.
our diplomas, and that's what we want, di ba? And Bukas is here, no, to support that, di ba? We're one of the I would say enablers for you to get that better future. And at Bukas, of course, we make sure that we offer this flexible, affordable installment plans to pay for your tuition. And at the same time, through that, also, we try to empower the Filipinos and the students to dream of a better future, but also own up to it, right? To be accountable and to be very driven, whatever society says about them. And as what our campaign now would say, um, walang hiya kang nag-aaral, 'di ba? Walang hiya kang nag-aaral kahit working student ka, kahit student parent ka, kahit course shifter ka, or school transferee ka, because there's no shame in being this kind of student. And at the end of the day, Bukas is here and your future is yours. Kaya nga, yung campaign namin now is Sayo ang Bukas. So if you want to know more about Bukas, you can check out our website at bukas.ph and check out our socials on Facebook, on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, nasa iyo ang bukas. Actually, this is
Sayo
one
ang
of the startups. I really like listening to startups na kumbaga very strong yung puso or yung heart. Kasi when you have that heart, when you have that advocacy, that mission, how you design your startup, how you kumbaga kung paano nag-work yung strategy, yung features, quote unquote, yung service, yung service, yung serbisyo, yung product sa Filipino people. Nakaugat ito sa puso at talagang naka-put into importance yung pag-deliver ng maayos na serbisyo sa mga Pilipino, and in Bukas case, kumbaga yung talagang matulungan yung mga Pilipino na ma-open ang tomorrow, ma-open ang better tomorrow. So maraming salamat, Jheric, for this conversation.
Thank you so much, Johnny, and thanks to our listeners.
Thank you very much to our 32 patrons. This episode is super powered by TechShake, Asia's most active Philippine-based startup ecosystem builder creating bridges with investors, corporations, and governments. 1 CFO, tech-enabled CFO, bookkeeping, and tax services for startups and SMEs. Take 5 Outdoors, the best guided outdoor adventure tour in the Philippines. They specialize in hiking and mountaineering trips. Benjoy's Food Products, the home of premium bacon ends, tapa, and tocino. D-Buzz, Web3 microblogging app promoting freedom of speech and content ownership. Pinoy IP Works, capture your startup's value proposition through patent and trademark protection. Packetworks, the leading enabler and only Internet of Things social enterprise in the Philippines. Looking for buy and sell online with Sigurado sellers. And NutriCoach, the all-in-one productivity tool for dietitians and nutritionists. This episode is powered by Pareto Consulting, AltSwitch, ePlayment, Tuala, and Hive Energy PH. AskLex PH Academy is our official e-learning partner. Get certifications on Lean Six Sigma, project management, data science, and many more. Support the podcast through the links in the description.